01733 913 775 or order online for delivery or collection.
You're listening to Peterborough's community radio, Salam Radio. Salam Radio. 106.2 FM.
Assalamu alaikum and good evening. You're listening to Friday Night Prime, live with me, Akil Khalil, here in the studio. This is your weekly chat show as we dive into the fascinating world of discussions with remarkable individuals from all walks of life. Now, joining me this evening, my guests are Fawzia Shah, Group Lead, and Maria, Cub Lead, and Shaheen, the Beaver Lead, and Shama, the Squirrel Lead. Have I got that right?
Yeah, spot on.
All right, cheating a little bit. Okay, I wrote three of you down, and I didn't write Shama's down, so I was trying to remember your name. And they are from the wonderful and inspiring 5th Peterborough Scouts Hidma Group.
Yes.
Have I got that right as well?
That's right.
Okay, I think I'm on to a winner here. Okay, so mashallah, first of all, thank you very much for coming in. I've been watching and seeing and learning as much as I possibly could about what you guys do. So there are many people who've asked me some questions as well. So I'm hoping we can understand what type of service you provide, why it's so important. So starting off with your good self there, Fawzia, could you tell us, when did this start? What does it represent?
Okay. We started back in October 21, I think it was. Obviously, we started discussions prior to that, but then COVID happened, and then everything got put back on the back burner. But behind the scenes, things kept moving. We did our training and everything, and then obviously once everything opened up back up, we started in October 21, and we started with beavers. I think we had about 9, didn't we, Shaheen?
Yeah, about 12 beavers.
12 beavers initially, and eventually, obviously, we've been growing over the past 2 years. We've now got almost a full house in beavers. Then we started up our cub section in January 23. Yeah. And then we've recently just started our brand new section, which is a squirrel section. And that has only, in general, been running in the Scouts movement for about 2 years itself. So it's quite a new, part of the Scouts. But I think, Shaheen, you're the one that actually started the whole Scouts. Initially, I kind of came in the middle, so you can explain why you started it.
Well, basically, it was just a conversation between mothers sitting down, and we realised technology was taking over the world, and how to get children back into nature and how to develop their skill set. And so we knew there was lots of Scouts all over the country, but there's also a Muslim Scouts fellowship. Okay, and we thought, wow, this would be perfect. So I looked into it and just did a lot of research, and the thing is, we had a few problems when we started up, because there were actually 2 Muslim Scouts group that I did set up in Peterborough.
Okay.
And they didn't continue. They lasted a few months, and then they shut down. And what happened was we had a lot of problems starting up. I think it was largely the Peterborough District Scouts Association, especially when we said we wanted to be Muslim Scouts. They said, well, we've had 2 set up in your area, and basically it's not happening.
Right.
So we had a team by then, and then what we thought we would do was we would still go ahead setting up our Scouts, but we wouldn't be called Muslim Scouts.
Okay, so you weren't deterred in any way. You were still focused. You wanted to do this
because you have to look at the bigger picture, don't you?
Of course you do.
Because at the end of the day, we want to bring it to the community, and we want to focus and bring all these skills and different, agents, things like camping, and then like setting up fire, learning how to make fires. And not just that, but it's also in Beavers we have badges. So a lot of people would know, they would have heard of Scouts. So you start with skills badges. So you have a challenge, you have your challenge badges, you have your teamwork challenge badge, you have your skills badge, you have your adventure badge, you have your outdoor skills badge, and then you have other activity badges that feed into that, like a cook badge, or like Fatima Zahra's got here, look, like a communicator badge, a gardening badge, international badge. She's been with us for a while.
Wow.
And like
I won't lie to you, I want one badge now.
Yeah, so these are all the skills that we're developing. And at the same time with Beavers especially, which was the Peterborough Scouts, Peterborough Scouts, what are they called? District.
That's it.
The Peterborough Scouts District, they wanted to start with Beavers because that's the best group to set up.
Okay.
And with that, what we did was we launched with 12 children, and we went with just being 5th Peterborough.
Okay.
And then what we were given advice from the Muslim Scouts Fellowship, just go with it as well, and then they'll leave you alone after a while.
I like this.
And then you can become Muslim Scouts.
Yeah.
And Muslim Scouts is basically, we have events like Iftar Under the Stars, which we have in Ramadan. We have Ramadan off, because as leaders we need our time off in those kind of events, and then we talk about basic Islamic principles and concepts during Scouts, and Scouts and Islamic concepts actually intermingle. It's kind of like the same thing, like being good to each other. Like the Beavers, they have, what do they say? We care, we share, we do our best, and it's about being good to each other and being good Muslims. And those kind of principles are echoed throughout Cubs and also Squirrels, and also now hopefully the Scouts, which we want to set up as well.
Okay, so there you are. You've managed to get yourself to a position where you didn't have to, you weren't able to use the Muslim logo as such to set up, and then you've set up the way you have, and then you're attracting, I'm assuming, are you attracting just Muslim people?
Well,
No. Although we're called Muslim Scouts, we are open to all.
Okay.
We have got non-Muslims in, I think we've got Cubs and now in Squirrels as well.
Okay.
And Beavers, we've got more.
Oh, you got and in Beavers as well.
Okay, so you are Scouts, but with an Islamic ethos.
Yes,
Am I right?
that's right.
Okay,
That's
okay.
right.
And I have to say that Peterborough District now, I think it was their lack of understanding about Muslim Scouts. Now that they understand it and they've realised that there is a big movement, they're open to it now.
Okay.
They themselves have made the effort to understand us, and
And
they
they've
are
been to
supporting
our
our
Okay, that's
events.
really good, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
that's
they
really
come to our
good.
events as well.
But and I mean, we'll come back to yourselves in a second. But what is this picture like nationally? Do you have Muslim Scouts? Is it a big scene
They're all
nationally?
over the country,
Okay.
all over the world as well, I'd say.
All over the world.
I mean, we're in like WhatsApp groups where
Mm-hmm.
we connect to other leaders in other countries and share our advice, tips. So it is a massive movement.
Fantastic. Oh, wow. By the way, I'm looking at your daughter. What's your daughter's name?
Fatima Zara.
Fatima. Oh, nice to meet you. Assalamu alaikum, Fatima. I really love all of your badges. Do you have a favourite one?
The faith badge.
Oh, mashallah. That's lovely, isn't it? Okay. So as the Scouts group started to grow, did you face any obstacles within the community?
I wouldn't say no, not really. Our only obstacle really is recruitment, obviously.
Okay.
Trying to get more people on board.
And no one tried to put you off in any way, shape, or form?
No.
Do you find that people have started to embrace this as your journey has developed?
I mean, to be honest, we're really popular. I've got 36 children on the waiting list
Mashallah,
to join
okay.
us. So
That's brilliant, isn't
there's
it?
no obstacles at all, apart from, like I say, having enough spaces for them.
And talking of space as well, are you in a specific location?
We're at Beaches School. We initially started at the district, their hut, and then we moved. We needed a bigger hall because it just wasn't big enough as we were growing. And then Beaches supported us. We used both the halls on a Thursday, and then one hall for Squirrels on a Tuesday. And they've been really supportive with us. We said we're charity, we can't. Because we were just starting off. I think it was a few months later we moved, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we were like, we haven't got that many funds. We're charging our children the minimal fees that we can. And they supported us and said,
That's fantastic.
You basically charged us the bare minimum that they could.
Wonderful.
So,
And it's just growing and growing, isn't
Yeah,
it, at the moment?
it is, yeah.
And how do you see Scouting contributing to developing young leaders into today's society?
we actually we have a program for young leaders, not just the children who come to the sessions, but 14 to 18-year-olds who can come and actually be young leaders and help us run the sessions. And that has actually been quite beneficial for some of them who've come along. My daughter, actually, I roped her into it. I actually dragged her into it. You're coming, you're helping me.
I need help.
Yeah, and initially she was like, oh, okay, but now then she absolutely loved it. She stopped now because she's focusing on her A levels.
Okay.
But, I mean, Shaheen can talk about her because she was in the Beaver section.
She was really quiet,
Yeah.
really, really quiet. But I think it helps to develop their confidence.
Yes.
And once they get given some responsibility, by the time she left, I felt like she could run it,
Wow.
basically, because they start to plan their programs and they start to develop a rapport with the children, and they just become really, really strong leaders with all these fantastic skills. And also, being a young leader, you can also do the Duke of Edinburgh Award as well. So that
That's linked, is it?
It is linked.
Oh, that's
as well.
really, really good to
Yeah.
know. It's it's funny you should say that, because I've noticed and seen and experienced as well within the community, several different voluntary projects as well. Young people are looking for an opportunity. And within that opportunity, they may come in quiet, shy, and not have the initial skills required to run a project. But they do embrace opportunities if you are there to coach and enable them correctly. And I've seen that myself within the city as well. But I know growing up, I'm not going to share my age, I'm really old. We didn't have this type of project or community work. But there were community centres, don't get me wrong, way more than there are now. I can tell you that now. You know, your Hobsons, and do you remember Hobsons, and you know, all etc. And you know, but they're all gone. And now, you know, services like yours, where you have these scouts, where you're thinking about the community, I think they're really, really important, because not only are they learning life skills, like you mentioned earlier on about the fire and working together as a team and to be the best versions of yourselves. I think moreover, really, is we're lacking leadership. We are. Last week on the show, I had Brother Ahmed Sulman, he's a broadcaster for the BBC. He was also touched on this as well, about we don't have enough leaders in the community. We don't have enough people who look like us representing us in the community. And what I mean by that is we don't have enough people. We have lots of people on social media talking, right? We have lots of people at home talking, but not enough people coming forward to own their own conversation. And what I like about what you're doing here as well is that you're, from a very young age, you're instilling these amazing, important core values in these young humans to take on, and ultimately that's only going to benefit society, isn't it? Okay, so what do you, Mario, what's your responsibility in this?
So I started supporting Shaheen with the beavers, and by that point we have a few who needed to move on to the cub section. So myself and my sister, we now run the cubs group, which is for 7 to 10-year-olds, and really they're at that age where they're not little children anymore. They are kind of starting to grow into young adults. They have their own sense of identity, and they want to kind of, find out who they are. So we run that, and it's whatever Shaheen's discussed, but at a higher level.
Okay.
So they do similar badges, but
let me just get this right. So squirrels, cubs, there's an age thing. Is it? Do you go through age? Okay. So could you tell me the?
So squirrels is 4 to 6.
Okay.
And beavers is 8 to 10. Is that right? Yeah, no, hang on, I've got
7.
that wrong.
Beavers is
6 to 8. Beavers is 6 to 8.
6 to 8.
Yep. And,
I think I'll fit in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're welcome to come. And then cubs is 8 to 10. And we're now taking steps to open the next section, hopefully, inshallah, by the end of the year, for scouts, which would be 10 to 14-year-olds.
And then you have explorers as well, which are 14 to 18.
Okay. Right. Wow. So you're really covering the bases here, aren't you?
And then you can become a leader at 18. Once you're 18, you can become a leader.
Okay, talking about that then, when you're helping to develop these young people, do you find that once they've been with your good selves, they are going to go on to something connected to this, or just going to move on with those skills elsewhere?
I think it could be a bit of both, really. I mean, with my daughter, I've said to her, because she finishes exams at the end of June, I said, look, let me DBS check you. You can be a leader for a bit.
Yep.
And then if you go off to uni, there's scouts everywhere. I'm sure whichever uni you end up at, there's going to be movement there, so you can go and help out there as well. But
so it's like a passport, is it?
Yeah.
So you can go to a different scouts organisation.
because you've got
It's
the
nationally
skills, it's
recognised.
all the training and everything is the same throughout. The Muslim Scouts, the Scout Association. So, if I leave here tomorrow, I can go and join another Scouts group. And, most of the Scouts groups are crying out for leaders, so you'd be welcomed wherever you went, to be honest.
Wow. And Sham?
Shamma.
Look at that. I got it wrong, didn't I?
Sham works.
I'm going to give you Sham now.
Yeah.
I like your Mendy, by the way. If you can
Oh,
see it on
thank you.
socials, it's awesome.
Here we go.
What's your role then? What age group do you have?
My children are between the ages of 4 and 6,
Okay.
and I've only recently joined. They actually scouted me. Shall I use
That's
the word?
brilliant.
Yeah, they scouted me at an summer event, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was a Children of Adam fun
Yeah,
day.
they basically had a little, what was it?
Gazebo
Gazebo
type
type
Yeah.
of thing, and they were doing all these lovely events, and I had my child with me, and I went there, and they were learning how to do different types of knots. And then I was like,
keyrings
what's
and
this?
things.
And they were like, oh, we do these things. We're looking for volunteers. Do you want to work with the community? And because my background is in teaching, that's something that I really was looking for, to do some more voluntary work within the community, but more working with children where there is an Islamic ethos, where we can openly talk about our religion, and if there's any world issues going on, we can discuss it with the children and talk about it in an educational manner. So I really enjoyed talking to everybody then, and then Fawzia got in touch with me, and there is a lot of training involved because obviously we are working with children. There's a lot of safeguarding involved, and then we started it in February, didn't we?
Yes, officially February. We had a few
Yeah.
taster sessions end of January. Then we started February. Then obviously had a break for Ramadan, and now we're back into it.
Back on the grind.
Yeah, and then first time I was involved in planning the Iftar Under the Stars event, which was really nice.
Tell me more about this then.
And basically, it's just a way for all the scouts and their families to get together and open their fast. And this year, I have to say, we had a lot of support from the leaders and their families. We were who donated money and drinks and food, so we were able to provide the whole Iftar event for free to our families. And it's just a nice way for us, for everyone to meet, because obviously sometimes as leaders we don't actually see each other either because we're on different days. And then all the families to get together and just have a nice evening and open our fast together.
Mashallah, that's amazing. And again, bringing back the importance of your unity and being able to show these young children you can fast, do something amazing like this, but then equally be in an environment where you're acceptable. You could talk about any pressures that you might have faced and learn from adults in that safe environment. Okay, I've got a question in my mind that's coming to me. I'm thinking about how's the masjids embraced this? Have you approached the masjids? Because obviously, surely that's going to be a target audience.
Well, we have recently had contact from one of the imams who may be interested in helping us set up the next section, which is the Scouts 10 to 14-year-olds.
Okay, that's great.
So, inshallah, if he comes on board, then hopefully he can get some more volunteers for us as well.
And also, we don't want to necessarily be affiliated to any.
Yeah.
No, of
masjid.
course not. So,
Particular
yeah,
masjid.
So we're
I
open
understand
to
that.
all masjids. We had imam. We had two imams who came on the
to
Iftar
Iftar,
under the
yes.
stars, and
And you enjoyed it?
yeah, they really
Were
enjoyed
they
it.
fasting?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, one said
Just checking. Just putting it out there. Okay, the reason why I mention this is because remember, often Islamic education is almost one-sided, right? You go in there, you learn about the Quran, or you learn how to read it. Some mosques are providing additional Islamic education where you're learning beyond just the Arabic language, right? And seeing what you're doing as well, I just see how. I mean, of course, I'm not saying you have to have a wide lens. How this would be great, empowering that future generations. Perhaps I'm thinking about what you're going to be doing next 2-3 years time, where someone's giving you exactly what you need, and you've got 1,000 students.
I mean,
doing that
we're
with you.
always looking for male role models for our children as well, because a lot of our children that are coming to Scouts, I mean, it's 50-50, but we have these boys that need that role model as well to be able to gain those. What we're essentially teaching is British values, but within the Islamic ethos of being responsible, having that democracy, that the right of law. What does that actually mean? All those kind of things we're teaching within the activities that we're doing. But
brilliant.
What we're lacking really is that male role models,
definitely.
and we've tried to recruit them in lots of different ways. But what is it with men? I don't know.
What is it with men?
Us women are more able
Can you
to.
answer that?
Yeah, please help us. And I think this is why it's good for us to come on the radio and be saying these kind of things quite openly and plainly. That for us to organise Muslim Scouts and have those older children, we need to be able to have not just women that are volunteering, but a range of men and women, so that children get that exposure.
Thank you. So let me know your thoughts. You can text the show on 07411 191 1062, or you can call me on 01733 602 133.
Assalamu alaikum. Yeah. Let me tell you about my happiness. I get my happiness from Islam. It makes me kind and a better human. Oh, please come with me and I'll show you why. I smile because I'm happy. I'm a Muslim, that's what makes me happy, and that's the truth. Because I'm happy, because I have the noble Quran, and that's where I get my rules. Because I'm happy, because my Lord is merciful and He is the forgiving one. Because I'm happy, and I have the Sunnah which dictates what my life should do. Okay, come on. In Islam we have one God. Muhammad is is his final messenger. We are taught to love and respect. Don't believe what you hear about Islam. I smile because I'm happy. I'm a Muslim, that's what makes me happy, and that's the truth. Because I'm happy, because I have the noble Quran, and that's where I get my rules. Because I'm happy, because my Lord is merciful, and He is the forgiving one. Because I'm happy, and I have the Sunnah, which dictates what my life should do. I just wanna tell the world that we're happy. Just because we're Muslim doesn't mean we're angry. But when we see our fellow Muslims that are suffering, we just wanna help cause we're one big family. I'm a Muslim, that's what makes me happy, and that's the truth. Because I'm happy, cause I have the noble Quran, and that's where I get my rules. Because I'm happy, because my Lord is merciful, and He is the forgiving one. Because I'm happy, and I have the Sunnah, which dictates what my life should do. Because I'm happy, I'm a Muslim, that's what makes me happy, and that's the truth. Because I'm happy, because I have the noble Quran, and that's where I get my rules. Because I'm happy, because my Lord is merciful, and He is the forgiving one. Because I'm happy, and I have the Sunnah, which dictates what my life should do. I'm so happy I'm a Muslim.
And that was Happy by Omar Isa. And in the studio with me, I have the wonderful crew here, the team responsible for the Muslim Scouts in Peterborough, the Hidma Group, 5th Peterborough Scouts Hidma Group. Am I right?
That's right.
I'm getting all right,
Central
aren't I?
in there as well.
Oh, there's Central. See,
Peterborough Central Hidma.
Fawzia, I think we should swap seats. Okay, so I want to ask you, is this all volunteer run? Is anybody getting paid?
No, every single role is voluntary. So from the trustee board down to the squirrels, section assistants, everyone is a volunteer. I think sometimes some of the parents mistakenly think we're being paid, but we're not. We're giving up our time from our families as well to, you know, make that difference in the community.
No, I appreciate that. There's lots of amazing work that you're doing, and other organisations actually, which, because they do it to such a high standard, people think, and that standard which they demand from each other as well when they deliver a type of service, whether it's a charity, literally, you know, food bank or something, or what you're doing or whatever it may be, people think, oh, someone must be getting paid because you're doing it so well. But I always have to remind people is because on a day of judgment, you will be questioned about this because you were in a position of power. Similarly here with Salam Radio, when we talk between the directors and say, on a day of judgment, we were given a platform, what did we do to empower people? Right? Yes. And so, and yeah, okay, that's heartening to know. I mean, I'm heading over towards a break shortly. We've got plenty more to discuss as well. But just before I go there, I would like to know, tell me a funny moment that you've had with while you've been building this organisation. You must have had some hilarious moments.
Apart from me threatening to quit.
That's probably only funny to you.
And then a mad panic, and you're like,
oh, I can't do it.
Yeah, please don't do this.
That's actually quite funny. Do you know why that's funny? Because a lot of us are running organisations, right? And we can appreciate what you've just said. Because it's not easy, right?
It's like literally last week I was like, a resignation letter, I'm sending it in. It's like speaking to someone from Muslim Scouts Fellowship, and like he called me and spoke to me for about an hour and just talked me down. It's like, he goes, don't worry, we all feel like that at some point. You're not the only one. So, yeah.
You know what it is? When you're running an organisation like this as well, you are literally, you're answering someone else's dua. You don't realise this. Some parents out and think, I wish there was something my child could do to help them or whatever it may be. But you don't realise this at the time until you go through something together. You're like, okay, wow. And anybody else other than wanting to quit?
Well, I've got something. A few of my cubs go to the same school. The cubs leader, their name is Arkayla. You might notice it for those who are seeing it online. It's the name on my woggle. It's from the Jungle Book. So the leader in charge, their name is Arkayla. And I've been told that one of my cubs has been threatening whenever another one messes about in class that I'm going to tell Arkayla.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, so that's quite cool.
Yeah. That's the kind of expectations they have. They know that they need to behave and promote Scout values wherever they are.
That's amazing, isn't it? They must be using that in the playground and so on as well. So what is this? What you have around your neck? Not your hijabs, of course, but
the other scarf.
The other scarf, yeah. And where can I get one?
It's a neckerchief.
It's a neckerchief.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then these are our group colours, the purple and the black. We chose them ourselves.
Islam Radio's purple as well.
Like, so
well done.
together.
Very good.
And then we have what's called a woggle.
Okay.
And
why does Mari have? Is she the only one with have
she's
something
Cubs.
written?
She's
And
from Cubs.
what Shema? Why don't you have one? Is it because you just joined in February?
Yeah. She hasn't been invested yet.
Oh, she hasn't passed her probation.
I forgot.
Oh, shame.
Had a busy day.
Did you? Well, I'll let you off. We're all
So
human.
basically, to get these, all the children have to go through like the membership part of the
Membership badge. Learning
yes.
about what Scouts is.
So they learn their promise, they learn a little bit of history, and I think it's attendance as well counts towards it. And then once they've done all those elements of it, they get their badge. We give them a woggle as well. I mean, in Squirrels we do nests and colour coordinated, so you're either yellow, blue, or I can't remember what the other colour is, green. So if we do group work, we can say, okay, yellow's over there, green's rather than saying all their names
easy, doesn't
out.
it?
And then so they have a special investiture where we call the parents and they get presented their woggle and they make their promise.
That's nice. Is this the same across all Scouts nationally?
Yes.
Oh, this is really cool. I won't lie to you, I want one. If I'd known this, Fawzi, before you were coming on air, I would have said, well, you better bring me one of these and I want to join in the crowd. But this is really, really
Become
cool.
a leader, and I can
Become
give you one.
leader. I wish I had the time, honestly. We're heading over to a break now, but after the break, we're going to be talking about the opportunities that are available to you to join this Scouts team, help to be part of their future. So stay in touch.
You're listening to Salam Radio, and it's now time for Asr Azan. This Azan is sponsored by UK Islamic Mission, serving humanity since 1962.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة والصلاة القائمة آت محمدا الوسيلة والفضيلة وابعثه مقاما محمودا الذي وعدته اللهم آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار اللهم بك نحيا وبك نموت وإليك المصير رضينا بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا وبمحمد صلى الله عليه وسلم نبيا ورسولا
اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه.
This is Salam Radio, Peterborough's Muslim community radio. Broadcasting on 106.2 FM and online.
Assalamu alaikum, welcome back to Friday Night Prime. I'm joined here in the studio with the team from the 5th Peterborough Scouts Hidma. And I would like to know what your thoughts are on our conversation about scouting and youth development. You can contact me via the text 07411 191062, or you can call me on 01733 602 133. Or if you have a question or a comment, something like that, you can text us on the live stream, Facebook, YouTube, X, or Twitch. Now, I would like to know, how can individuals from the community support the efforts of the 5th Peterborough Scouts group?
Okay, so at the moment I'm focusing on two areas of recruitment, which is the trustee board and also for our new sections, Scouts initially and then Explorers, Scouts for the 10 to 14-year-olds and then Explorers 14 to 18. Trustee board, I've got a form out at the moment where we're asking for people to nominate either themselves or someone else. That closes actually this Sunday because that's the selection process, and then we'll be selecting the trustees from that. I mean, obviously with the trustees, it is a legal responsibility. Their role is to ensure that the Scouts is run safely and obviously within the guidelines of the Scouts policies. So it is a responsibility, but you get support. And obviously, if we've got a strong board that are working together, we can make it strong and make sure that the Scouts group continues, because the trustee board is basically like the foundation. If that has to be strong, otherwise the rest of it is, there's a risk of it collapsing.
Absolutely.
Because if no one's following the policies and everyone's just doing what they like, it's going to get to that stage where, and what things are going to go wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I understand. Oversight is very important. What qualities or skills do you believe are essential for individuals who may be interested in becoming a trustee?
I mean, obviously, it's a legal responsibility ultimately, and it would be good if people who have got a little bit of experience, join the trustee board. But you don't necessarily have to have that experience, because, you do get some training, and obviously all of us started Scouts with no experience at all, and look at us within nearly 3 years in October, we've managed to open up 3 sections and potentially 4.
Yeah, I think the main thing is just having a passion to make a change.
Exactly.
I don't think you need to necessarily have all the skills. You can learn the skills. There's also training that's available. But I think that, that's the main thing, just to have the passion to make a difference
and
for children in the community.
Yeah,
commitment as well.
And how many trustees is it that you're seeking?
The maximum we can have is 15, I believe, off the top of my head, but the minimum is 5.
Okay.
Which I think at the moment, with the people who have signed up, we have hit the 5. Obviously, the more we have, the better.
Okay.
And actually, we're a really supportive trustee board, aren't we?
Yeah.
And I recently joined, didn't I? Like less than a year ago. And everybody's been really supportive. Like, I can easily say, well, what does that mean? Can you explain that a bit more further if I have no experience? And they're really, really actually very kind and very, nobody minds explaining something. No. And that's what I like about it. It's such an open, friendly group.
Fantastic. And is it just trustees? Is it any other positions that you're looking to fulfill? Are you looking for just general volunteers?
Yes, general volunteers as well, because like I said, we're hoping to start the Scout section, which is the 10 to 14, by the end of this year.
Which is going to be girls and boys separate.
They're separate.
Okay.
So
and
that's
so will
why,
Explorers, won't it?
Yeah, and that's why we do have a need for male volunteers, because if we're going to split the sections, obviously we need the male volunteers to run the boys' side of it. And I think we've got the female side pretty much covered.
Okay, so if I'm right in thinking, once you get your, let's just say, I'm just thinking quite further ahead in the future, what are your aspirations? Let's say you've got your trustees in place and you've got your volunteers in place. What does the end of 2024 look like for you then? What do you aspire?
I think we've got quite a few people that are interested. Children are interested. I think we could have 2 Beaver Scouts group, 2 Cubs groups,
We can
2
expand
Scouts
for
groups. We
sure.
can
We've
expand
got waiting lists,
because
haven't
we've
we?
got waiting lists. And then, but the thing is, we need volunteers to support us and run those sessions. And the thing is, most of us have not even been involved in Scouts, and we don't have the skills. But the thing is, you learn as you go along.
Absolutely.
And the Scouts district are really, really supportive, and even the Cambridgeshire district, the county, really, really supportive. And a lot of them have never even come across Muslims, which is a really funny thing, because we have one gentleman, they gave us these leather woggles, and they said, and they're made out of cow. Is that okay for you? And it's like, they're like, we're learning off each other, and that's what I think Scouting is about.
It's a great form of dawah, guys.
Definitely.
And all of us are doing something, whether, we're here at Salam Radio or whether you're doing some sort of charity work and you're helping all communities, not just Muslim communities, right? So people feel comfortable to ask you a question they wouldn't ordinarily ask someone, like you just mentioned about the cow skin. Or is this okay? And it's great because it gives you a chance to break down barriers and learn from each other, because we do live in a society where we've learned a lot about Western society and Christian values and so on, and we want to share and articulate our Islamic values, but given the current climate, it's not always receptive. Like you couldn't just walk up to someone and say, I can't eat from that plate because you had pork on it, right? As an example. But if you're doing Scouts, right, or a different charity organisation, and someone sees something, you can have a normal human conversation based around it, and people will be more respectful, understanding, and actually accommodating, I find.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we've come a long way from when we started, because I was talking to one of the leaders who helped set it up initially, and they were the ones that were initially against us being Muslim Scouts, but he himself came forward with, you're going to be opening the Scout section, will you be separating them, because they're at that age? And I was like, wow, you thought of it yourself without me even, because I was sitting there dreading it, thinking they might not be happy we want to separate them.
Yeah.
And when we went to the canoeing trip, sorry.
You went canoeing?
Well, there was a water
Scouts go
sports-
canoeing?
It was a water sports event, and they said, "Do you need separate changing areas for the girls?" They were they thought.
Oh, that's brilliant,
so,
isn't it? That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm from that school of thought and era and life experience, and I'm not going to mention your age, but certainly mine. When we were growing up back then, Animal Farm sets. Our parents would take the pig out.
Yeah.
Right? As if something was going to happen.
Yeah.
Are you with me? Right? And I still remember these things. And looking back at those times now, and I always remind myself, it's what you learn, what you bring with you, what you pass on, isn't it? So I think what you're doing, can I just say, it's fantastic. It's blown away when I was doing my research about what you guys do. But listening to you today as well about what you're doing, how you're getting other communities involved. It's not just Muslims as well. You have national support. It's heartening, because you realise, okay, the future looks bright. As long as we have more people who then join the cause.
Yes.
Because if we stay in our silos and don't have these conversations and don't do these things, we're never going to develop. We're never going to be. We're never going to be part of the fabric of society, because we're constantly just saying, okay, well, we'll handle you from arm's length. It's not good enough, because we're not then preparing young minds to work with each other for the betterment of society. Islam has a huge role in society.
And you know what? This is what I think that is great about the Peterborough community, is that I think our younger generation, I think anybody who is below, I don't put age number, but anybody below 45, 50, we're of like a different mindset, aren't we?
Yes,
we want we're having young children now ourselves, and we're the second, third generation, and we want our children to be growing up with a really strong Muslim ethos.
Comfortable in
and we want them to be able to do all these extra clubs like football club, basketball, all these clubs, but we want them to also be joined in some Islamic groups as well outside of mosque.
Yep.
Yes.
And this is what I found as a parent, whose my child now is going to Scouts as well, is that he can openly come and say, oh, we discussed this today and we talked about this prophet, or we did this activity, but then we did our Surah Fatiha at the beginning of the session, and this is like openly doing it while doing actually quite modern British things.
Brilliant.
And I think this is where I think that our community really wants this, because that's why we have a waiting list, because the more parents we talk to, they say we want our next child signed up. We want, we're having a sibling.
We're planning on having another child. We want that one as well.
Yeah, but this can
That's
only...
a waiting list.
I did actually have a 2-year-old on the waiting list at one point.
People are...
That's a big thing.
Yeah, our second generation parents are very eager for their children to learn, but this is where it can only grow if you help us.
Absolutely. I mean, this must make you guys feel good. You know, I mean, must reinforce that what you're doing is working, right?
Definitely. I mean, I was chatting to a parent yesterday, and she was like, her child's only been coming to Squirrels for 2 sessions, and she was like, he loves it already. And she was like, she came to the iftar event because she's got an older child there. And
was she fasting?
Yes.
Okay. Look, I've just Maria Bluetooth that to me. I'm blaming Maria.
So no, she was just saying how much she, totally loved it, and said it was such a nice, atmosphere and what we were doing. So, that then reminds us why we're doing it, and makes us strive to continue to do it. So even if I do feel like quitting, I'm like,
just thinking that, Posey. I was just about to say, are you sure?
Yeah, but no, then things like that just reminded me why I'm doing it.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. So what we're really saying tonight, aren't we? Other than sharing the great work that you're doing, is you really need support now. You need to get to that next level.
Yeah.
You've got to where you've got to with the amazing work that you've done, but to achieve the next level in the evolution of what you're trying to achieve, you need people who are going to be committed and who have a vested interest in the future of all communities, and those life skills that young people can develop. Yeah. That's great.
We're sent down to the world to teach us how to live, a mercy for us all, our blessing, our gift. Like the morning sun you rose with a message that would lift this world from darkness. Oh, you brought us out of it. 'Cause the more I get to know, the more I learn to live. Wish that I can be somebody that can live just like you did. And now that I know, my life's been such a bliss, I promise that I'll always keep on doing what you did. Lord, make me someone just like this. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Wanna be someone just like this. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Lord, make me someone just like this. Wanna be someone just like this. You could have had the world, but you left it where it is. A beacon full of hope to the orphans you would give. Before you had to go, you left us with one wish, that we would see the truth and follow it. And the more I get to know, the more I learn to live. Wish that I can be somebody that can live just like you did. And now that I know, my life's forever changed, I promise that I'll always keep on doing what you did. Don't make me someone just like this. Wanna be someone just like this. Oh, make me someone just like this. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Oh, make me someone just like this. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. And the more I get to know, the more I've learned to love. All those 23 years you taught us to be kind and to love. And now that I know, my life's forever changed, I pray that I can carry on doing what you did. Don't make me someone just like this. Wanna be someone just like this. Lord, make me someone just like this. Wanna be someone just like this. Oh, make me someone just like this.
And that was Someone Just Like This by Saeed. Absolutely loved that nasheed. Right, guys, so tell me what's in the pipeline. What we're doing for the rest of the year, 2024? What great events have you got planned?
We've got summer camp coming up in July.
Okay, what's going to happen at summer camp?
We're going to go to the Muslim Scouts Fellowship, do a summer camp. So our beavers and cubs are going there. So we just get on a bus, get all our tents and everything, and just
go and meet all the other Muslim Scouts in the United Kingdom. It was in England.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of people there then?
Yeah.
There will be. They do 2 camps. I think one's in Sheffield, isn't it? And one's in London.
There's a northern one and a southern
Manchester,
one.
I think it is. Manchester and London. So we'll be heading to the London one.
That's fantastic.
And we'll be doing all activities like skills, camping skills, setting up a camp, setting up campfires and singing songs and all that kind of thing.
But all
Islamic
under
ethos.
it would be nice for our children to see other Muslim Scout children, wouldn't it, from other places as well.
That's fantastic.
So
that's absolutely fantastic.
We're taking. How many children are we taking? Are we taking about 20?
20 children.
MashaAllah, that's amazing.
And then we have the Muslim Olympics.
I've not heard of this. I need to know more.
Basically, it's again, they hold 2 sessions, one in Sheffield and one in London. We've been to both now, haven't we? London and Sheffield. And it's all the Muslim Scouts getting together and competing. And some of the Scouts group actually take it very seriously, don't they?
Yeah, some of them really plan in advance.
Well, Fawzia, that sounds like you two up your game, my friend.
We do.
No, we don't, but we come back with medals.
Well, you do, but have you won those medals?
Yes, we have. We've had a couple of gold. We've had some.
Just checking, Maria.
This is checking our children. We're very good, aren't we?
Yeah.
Competitive.
I think the first time we went, we had no clue what we were doing, and we still came back with medals. So,
this is brilliant. I bet you thought, we'll just walk into it next time. We'll just happen just like that.
Yeah.
We've got a little bit of training we'll do. So, is there an expectation on medals, Fawzia? I think Maria should. You have to get a gold.
So there's an athletics badge, and I've already started my cubs. We're doing the athletics badge currently.
What? See, competitor.
I know. Like last time, I went in. Last 2 times, not knowing. Next time, we're going with a banner.
Yep.
We're going to have a logo for Khidma, and we're going to represent Peterborough. Maybe we'll get some branding, t-shirts.
Yep. Yeah, we need some new t-shirts.
We need Peterborough to be represented well.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got the Olympics, and then we've got the summer event.
And then we have the yearly iftar under the stars.
Okay, so that's at Ramadan time though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if somebody's listening right now at home and they want to get involved, but they don't have any children, but they want to support you because they love what they're hearing and they believe in your vision, how can they do that?
They can also donate to our Scouts group because we're always looking for funds. We want to try and reach as many children as we can, so we keep our funds very low. I mean, our subscription's very low.
Okay.
The minimum that we can have. But out of that, half of that then goes to the Scout Association. So if we're charging, say, £120 a year, out of that we only get 50 to 60, because the rest of it is going for insurance, obviously the neckers, things like that. So if anyone wants to donate, we'd be extremely grateful because we still need to get our camping equipment.
Yep.
And, if there's any kind of grants or anything out there, please let me know. So that I can
or
apply
if a
for
business wanted to sponsor
exactly, yes, if they want
particular
to sponsor
something. So you mentioned the t-shirts, right?
Yeah.
Or if there's other things that you need, if a business wants to get in touch, they can. How can they do this?
Contact me.
Contact you. Is there a website, email?
My email is fawzia.shah@fifthpeterboroughscouts.org.uk. Or
Is that fifth with a number or the whole word?
5th.
Okay, all right.
But all my details are on our Facebook page anyway. So
okay, so check Facebook
and Instagram.
And could you just repeat your email address?
Yeah, it's fawzia.shah@fifthpeterboroughscouts.org.uk.
Awesome. So there's sponsorship opportunities for any business.
Yes.
Or individuals who want to just sponsor, they can do that as well.
Yeah.
What about if somebody wanted to just come and see? I know you have a DBS compliant safeguarding environment. But is there a way for someone to just see what you're doing before they want to volunteer their time?
Yes, if they contact me, I'm at Squirrels every week because I've started helping in that section, but I'm not at Beavers and Cubs. So if they wanted to come along on a Thursday, Squirrels is Tuesdays and Beavers and Cubs is Thursdays. So if they wanted to come along and see what the Beavers and Cubs were doing, just drop me a message and I'll make sure I'm there that week and I'll meet them there and just show them what we're doing.
We've also got the AGM coming up, and I think that would be really nice if people want to just see what we do.
Okay, so when will that take place, and how can somebody get involved?
That's on the 23rd of May. We've incorporated it with our Beavers and Cubs session, so I think the families are going to be coming and doing some games, and then the official business will be in the final half an hour. it is advertised on my Facebook page. There's a link to sign up if you want to come along. Because
And that's open to the public, isn't it?
It is.
And where is it taking place?
It's going to happen at Beachy School.
Okay, so it's going to be happening where you normally do your base activities.
That's right.
Okay, all right. So that's where someone who really wants to get involved could get an accurate picture of what you're doing.
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay, I think everybody who has a passion for wanting to help the future generations should consider this, shouldn't they?
They should, definitely.
You know, I have to say, I've been really enthused by what you're doing. You know, I think it was a long time coming. Sounds like, you know, learning from what you're doing feels like, why didn't this happen sooner? But I'm kind of glad, very enthused actually, it's taking place now. Sometimes it takes the right people to be in place to launch a particular project within the community. And the fact that you're steadfast, you have a core team of volunteers, you've launched the various different activities, you have your iftar event, you have non-Muslims who are coming, you've got your summer camp planned and all these things. It's a testament to your steadfastness. So well done. You know, it's not easy to run a community project. I know, I'm involved in a couple. It's a lot of hard work and sacrifice, but what you're offering today to anyone who wants to get involved from a volunteer or a trustee perspective to say is the groundwork has been laid.
Yes. Definitely.
Someone joining now isn't going to go through what you've already done. Now they're going to be part of something that's already moving.
Exactly.
Right?
That's experience.
Yes,
exactly.
We've got the experience now. Obviously, when we started, we didn't have a clue, did we?
It was very hard.
Very
It's a big
hard,
learning curve.
Yeah.
Now you got all these knowledgeable people.
Well, you know, your energy is amazing. You know, honestly, the four of you, I'm feeling it. I'm sure people who are listening to you right now, watching you as well, who have all experienced your service will say the same. MashaAllah, you can feel the vibe that you have between each other and the care that you have for the future generations. It's very, very enthusing. And I have to say, it's something that should be really embraced, I think, right across the board. You know, whether you're in the council or the masjid or wherever it may be, this is a great thing that you're doing, you know, helping develop future generations, because we need leaders. I said it earlier on as well. We definitely do. That doesn't mean, and that is in all fields. You know, someone will learn skills from what you're teaching, showing and enabling, and may go on to have a career in a big, large organisation, or they may set up their own business, or they may become a carer at home and learn something that they learned from yourselves. Because remember, one thing, it's very likely just going to mention this as well, is that we're starting to see dementia and so on coming in our community, okay? And, you know, being closely connected to autism and things like that, personally, you know, we're from that generation where our parents didn't know anything about these diseases that have come within society. And if you yourselves and other organisations which are helping to teach young people the importance of caring for people and being responsible and so on, that's only going to help later on in life as well.
Definitely.
And I see this happening. You know how you're developing these young minds to care about themselves and future generations. I think it's a great thing. We are definitely missing this piece because we live in a society now where social media, everyone's just thinking about themselves.
Yeah.
We're not thinking about other people. And I think what you're teaching and showing these young people how important it is to care about each other and care about your community, and that's only a great thing, you know, I have to say. It's been wonderful for me personally to have you all here. And if you are listening to this interview, or you can catch up on social media if you've missed it or you want to share it with someone else, do get in touch with Fozia or any one of these team members that you may know, and learn about how you could get involved and make a difference within this organisation. Do you have any message for any parent who might be, thinking about enrolling their children? What would you say to them? Give me 2 reasons why someone should join your organisation.
I think the big thing about scouting is it's actually a family. And we are Muslim scouts, but we're also part of the whole
network,
worldwide scout family, and it's a support network. So it's nice to be involved in a family. And the other thing is the skills that you're going to learn with scouting, you're not going to learn anywhere else.
Yeah, they are lifelong skills.
They are lifelong skills that you don't get anywhere else. So, and you see. From our perspective, we bring the kids in from beavers and we see them grow and develop.
I love this.
And it's wonderful.
And then you send them off.
And you don't want them.
And you send them off.
Yeah, and when they leave beaver, it's like, no, we don't want them to go. And when you see them in cubs and they're like, maturing because they're disciplining now. Because it's like, play with them for the first 7 years. So that's what we do. The beavers run around and they're mad and they're, just go there to make friends. It's about beavers, it's about making friends and having fun.
Mashallah.
But when they move to cubs, it starts to get a bit more disciplined.
Yeah. We heard about your discipline off air, didn't we? Yeah. Anyway, changing changing the subject just there. Can I just say, I still want one of these.
Yeah.
Do I mean, I'm probably going to have to enroll here and pay a fee and go through all of Fauzia's Krypton Factor version of what I need to do to get one of these. But I love it.
You have to make a promise.
Well, actually, hold on.
You have to make a pledge.
Shama, you didn't come with yours, so what can I say?
She's putting the rules down.
I'm one of the relaxed ones.
Oh, really? Okay, but you're making me make a pledge and a promise.
Yeah, but you can also become an occasional helper, which means that you don't have to come weekly.
Okay.
You can come like whenever you can. So as long as you come, here and there, we could get you one.
Okay, I love this.
Yeah.
Okay. I think
you would have to make your promise.
And if you're really nice, Fauzia might even give you a shirt. That's what she did to me.
Whoa! You have a shirt.
A Scout's shirt to wear a proper uniform.
Yeah, because along with the NECA, you get your official badges.
Well, even as as someone who's leading, right?
Yeah.
So like your daughter, but you have your own versions.
Yeah. So when we become a official leader, we have to make a promise as well, and we get invested.
I love this. Yeah. I don't know, part of me is just like, I think, I don't know, for some reason I've decided to delete X amount of years of my life. I want to join you guys and do this.
It's because you wish you probably did it when you were younger. This is what I feel like. I feel like had we had these opportunities when we were younger, we probably would have turned out slightly different.
Well, I don't know, would our parents really let us? That's the other side of looking at this.
Do you want to go camping? What's camping? Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Get to work. Okay, brilliant. I've only got 30 seconds left. I've absolutely loved being here with yourselves.
Thank you for having
us. I hope you
us.
come back again, and share an update. But if it's an amazing work that you're doing. You can contact Fauzia if you want to support any business that wants to get involved. Check out the social media, or go to the AGM and learn more about it. It's been an genuinely absolute pleasure to have you here in the studio. I hope you've enjoyed it as well. I'll be back next week with another show. Thanks for listening. I look forward to your company again. But in the meantime, stay safe and salam alaikum.
Stay tuned.